since 2000, first playoff since '99. Against the playoff teams, well, it didn't go so well, but they're learning. And boy, they saw what a healthy year for Matthew Stafford would mean. 5,000 yards. Calvin Johnson off the charts at wide receiver. Unfortunately, the defense with impact players off the charts for the wrong reasons at times. They got a little off track. But Ndamukong Suh and company, and we really didn't see Fairley on a consistent basis. This is excitement. Now, where does Detroit go this year? Talk about maybe the Bengals moving. I know Detroit's looking up at Green Bay. Chicago will be back. Detroit, to me, is a team that really bears watching because they may have added maturity, we hope, to the ability which they showed on the field, because when they looked good, they looked really good. Can we agree on? I mean, they looked thunderous at times.
Defense is a big problem, John. You look at that football team, and boom, they couldn't stop anybody. Matthew Stafford had to go out there and try to match points. I mean, it was like basically trying to hold serve, and they couldn't on defense. So bottom line is Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, you had Pettigrew, you added some pieces around them. Running back's a big concern as well. You think about this football team and what they did. Riley Reef, that helps out Matthew Stafford, got hit too much, but the defense has got to get better.
It would help if they had a running back they could hand the ball to and shorten the game. This defense is out there all the time. They don't have a running back on their team that ran for more than 400 yards. Javid Best has issues, and LeSure is unknown where his status is right now. Here's a back.
Yeah.
To announce the Detroit Lions selection, please welcome from Oklahoma State University, the 3rd overall pick in the 1989 draft by the Lions, Hall of Fame running back, Barry Sanders.
With the 54th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Ryan Broyles, wide receiver, University of Oklahoma.
Can I just say something about that? He and Gale Sayers, for running backs, universally loved no matter what city you bring him in front of a podium. Now on to 2012.
This is a great pick right here. I was hoping to see Ryan Broyles go earlier. Reminds me of a lot of guys I had in Oakland and Tim Brown. He's the all-time leading receiver in college football. Had an injury this year against Texas A&M to his ACL. I've seen this kid line up in the slot. He runs wicked double moves, tremendous hands, week-to-week-to-week production, great competitor. Reminds me of a young Tim Brown, Derek Mason type receiver that's going to really flourish in this Lion offense.
Only thing I can say is he's added to the arsenal, the offensive arsenal. He's a heck of a player, 349 career receptions, but the defense, that's a huge question mark, and you haven't addressed it yet. So at some point in time, you got to stop people, and you got to add some personnel to that football team on the defensive side of the ball.
Just a detail. Just a minor detail. When we return here, the second round rolling toward the bottom. Atlanta on the clock for the first time of this draft. So we'll talk some Falcons and Steelers and Broncos again when we return to Radio City Music Hall in New York.
Call Dave.
This is Dave.
Hey, just got off work. The conditions are looking pretty good.
With standard color touch radio system, Bluetooth connectivity, and backup camera, the 32 highway MPG GMC Terrain. The only thing more amazing than this technology is what you can do with it. Lease this 2012 GMC Terrain for $269 a month. A 2012 Terrain from GMC.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN and ABC. A champion will rise. LeBron James and the Heat's mission is title or bust.
James comes flying in
as they open with Melo and the Knicks. Then will you serve a hungry Pacers team in an opener with the Magic? Finally, if the Thunder's time is now, the journey begins with Dirk and the defending champion Mavs. The NBA playoffs tip off tomorrow on ESPN and ABC.
Listen, I want what I want. Ask her to take a little off the top, and she gives me this. It's not what I wanted. Obviously, you don't have that problem.
Seriously, man, it looks fine.
Come on, be honest. I even brought her a picture. And she still gave you that? That's what I'm trying to tell you. She still gives me this. I don't understand. Did you tip her? Yeah. I wouldn't have.
Thanks, Larry.
No problem. Seriously, how bad is it? Relax, man. It'll grow back. Maybe.
This lets us know every time someone takes home a new Nissan.
Every minute, someone buys a new Nissan. It's no wonder when you're named the country's most innovative car company, and they'll be going really fast during Nissan's Sale a Minute event. Save up to $3,150 on Altima or up to $2,500 back on Frontier. Event ends soon. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your Southern California dealer.
Not a minute too soon.
Have you ever seen the sun jumping into a stream? It's really something to see. She's really something to me.
Welcome back, everybody. And we saw 4 quarterbacks go in the first round yesterday. Tonight, not a quarterback yet. Mel, let's see. We're at pick, what? We're at pick 55? Well, the numbers say we're close, right?
Some of these would be luxury picks as certain teams brought them into the fold. Boom, we're only in the second round. These teams have needs to get better. Some of these quarterbacks obviously are going to take some time at the pro level. So to wait and see. You talk about the third round coming up. Some of these quarterbacks figure to come off the board at that point, so it's not a shocker, but we expect to see 1 or 2 maybe at the end of round 2. Certainly, the majority of those quarterbacks on that list should be in the third round.
So now here are the Atlanta Falcons, who remember lost the first-round pick in a trade last year with Cleveland for Julio Jones, so they can move up and do that. So now we're hearing from them for the very first time.
To announce the Atlanta Falcons selection, please welcome, from the University of North Carolina, the 35th overall selection in the 2001 draft by Atlanta, tight end Alge Crumpler.
With the 55th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Peter Kahns, guard, Wisconsin.
Well, here the Falcons had made the playoffs, but then just looked putrid in a 24-2 loss to the New York Giants. They get some push on the front, which is what they need, right, fellas?
Well, I'll tell you, you talk about a kid 6'5", 315. He could pull, he could trap. He was a very athletic center for Wisconsin, the way they utilized him. Everybody was concerned about his upper body strength. Only did 18 reps at the combine. Then he came back during his pro day, does 23 reps, so he got that strength quotient up. You think about injury, missed multiple games each of the last 3 years. Durability is a concern. Longer NFL season, tougher, obviously, atmosphere. The guys he's going to be working against. Can he hold up physically? Teams were thinking about him as a center down the road, guard maybe initially, so it gives you some versatility along the interior offensive line, Coach.
Well, he's a scheme center. You pointed it out. You love to have a center that can get out on screens and can pull to block some of these second-level linebackers. He has great playing range. Strength and durability is the issue, but the Falcons needed a young center. Todd McClure has been there a long time. He's 35 years old. He'll have a good mentor. Peter Kahns, nice prospect.
Let's give Atlanta some credit. We talk about stability in Cincinnati. Can they do it in a second straight year, et cetera? Detroit, they never had back-to-back winning years to Mike Smith, Matt Ryan, Thomas Dimitroff, all that got there. 4 straight winning seasons. Now a team that has a winning season almost all the time are the Pittsburgh Steelers. 12-4 a year ago for a change did not win that tough AFC North. They picked guard David DeCastro from Stanford in the first round, almost a Faneca type. Now, what do the Pittsburgh Steelers do?
To announce the Pittsburgh Steelers selection, please welcome, from the University of Kentucky, the 44th overall pick of the 1988 draft by the Steelers, Hall of Fame 2012 inductee, center Dermontti Dawson.
With the 56th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select